Welcome in to PDL Weekly. My name's Nicholas Murray. Very pleased to be joined by PDL Senior Director Ryan Brooks. And Ryan, lots to get to this week, starting off in the Mid-Atlantic Division where the Jersey Express pulled off a really big result at Ocean City, took a 2-0 victory. They're in second place right now. They were first before Reading United's win last night. What are we seeing out of Jersey? And this is just making this race in the Mid-Atlantic Division even tighter as we come down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, Mid-Atlantic, I feel like every single day there's a new guy on top. You know, one day one guy's on top, the next day Reading's on top, the next day Jersey Express, Ocean City. So this is quite a tight race. Obviously the win for Jersey Express over Ocean City, it was for the 2-0 victory was quite big. But there's obviously a lot of games left for those teams.
Big games coming up this weekend, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But we'll go down the coast right now to the Southeastern Division, and that is a 3-horse race. It looks like it's emerging. Panama City Beach had an interesting weekend because they fell to the Ocala Stampede, but then they came back and they had a really nice road win against Orlando City U23s. Ocala, Panama City Beach now tied for first place with 18 points each. Orlando 2 points further back. This is going to be a race that may go down to the wire to see who goes to the Southern Conference Championships.
Yeah, I was at both games actually for Panama City. It was a long trip for them to go down to Ocala. For obviously staying in the bus for that amount of time, it was obviously difficult on their body. So, to have that negative result against Ocala, and then to come back and then to beat Orlando City was a much really needed 3 points for them.
Shows a little bit of resiliency
Absolutely.
there, and that's a team in Panama City Beach that's been able to get points late, score late goals, and I think that's really a credit to the coach up there.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw both of their games, obviously, like I said, and they're just a little gritty team. They're just a grit team that really wants to just stick it out to the end, and obviously they showed that from the result.
Now, another team that really vaulted itself back into the playoff picture this weekend is the Western Mass Pioneers. Took a couple of really nice wins last week, and they're now just 3 points behind both the Ottawa Fury and GPS Portland Phoenix, and they have a game in hand, so they could easily make that a 3-horse race in the Northeast Division. For a guy for a team like that, a guy like Alan Carr Jr. is like gold dust, and he had 5 goals in 2 games to earn Player of the Week honors. How impressive is that? And can the Pioneers break up the Phoenix and Fury's hold as they've had over the past couple of seasons?
Yeah, I mean, right now they're looking at 1 and 2 is going to have the play-in. So, and it's a 3-horse race right now, and they're obviously keeping up, which is huge. And then the 5 goals in the 2 games, they've earned the 6 points, really just kept them above where it needed to be going into kind of the somewhat of the final stretch going forward.
Really biggest goal of the weekend, you could argue, was Alan Carr Jr.'s second goal against Vermont, 89th minute, game winner, keeps them in the equation there. We had some other big performances as well. We had Bobby Jutti from the Vancouver Whitecaps U23s score a hat-trick, add an assist, as the Whitecaps are now in 3rd place behind the Timbers U23s and the Victoria Highlanders. And coming up this weekend, we have the Whitecaps and Highlanders go at it, and then on Sunday we also have the Highlanders and Timbers go at it.
Right.
So that picture in the Northwest Division could become a lot clearer.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna find out a lot after Sunday. After those 2 matchups are gonna really decipher a little bit of who's first, second, third. A little bit, maybe unless I say that, and then there might be a couple ties, and we're in the same boat as we were before. But no, those matchups are obviously big, and I'm excited to see those results.
Now, we also mentioned a couple of big games in the Mid-Atlantic Division, and Reading against Jersey. Massive rivalry over the past few seasons, and they play a home-and-home series this weekend that could really go a long way to determining which team is going to be playoff bound and which team might be at home come the end of July.
Yeah, I mean, they're at this point they're obviously trying to get into the conference lead, but also they're trying to be first overall into the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
For those 2 matchups, that's a 6-point weekend for them, and 6 points goes a long way in this.
Another guy who had a big weekend, Thunder Bay's Axel Sjoberg, again on the PDL team of the weekend. I know it's at least twice he's been on there this season. Picks up a couple of goals. Thunder Bay, they go down to Springfield for a return match of this past weekend series. can the Demise get things back on track? They've been playing very well at home.
Yeah, I think they just ran into a Thunder Bay side that for 2 games that it was obviously difficult. Everyone's running into Thunder Bay and obviously losing because they're 9-0. So Springfield, I think that besides the Thunder Bay games, I think that they're going forward. They just happen to run into a really hot team. So Thunder Bay is a quality side right now.
Going further out west, Southwest Division, it's looking like it's make or break time for FC Tucson. They welcome in the Ventura County Fusion, a team that they're chasing for a playoff position in the Southwest Division, for a couple of games, Friday night, Sunday evening. These are both must-wins for Tucson, surely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tucson needs 6 points. I mean, that's an absolute that they must need 6 points for them to really just continue on going, because obviously it's number 1 and 2 for the playoffs, and if they don't get those points, then they're going to be probably too far away at that point.
Now, to come back to finish off Southeast Division, we talked about Panama City playing Ocala and then Orlando. Well, Ocala and Orlando played this weekend, and Orlando could really use this win to try and jump back ahead of the Stampede and try and regain a little bit of momentum after a disappointing result against the Pirates.
Right, yeah, they do. I'm going to be at that game, so I'm going to enjoy that one on Saturday night, Ocala versus Orlando City. So that should be an interesting matchup at night. Hopefully the weather stays well for them, but that will be a nice matchup for both of them. They're Ocala and Orlando City. They're really trying to differentiate themselves at this point in that division.
Now, all of the updates from this weekend's games can be found on Twitter at USLPDL. We'll be updating results as soon as we get them from the teams around North America. You can also keep up to date with previews and game reports on the league's Facebook page. Thanks to you, Ryan, for joining us. Thanks to you for watching, and we hope you'll join us again this time next week for another edition of PDL Weekly.